John, nice to see you. Now we are in ISPO, and I want to say thank you from our side that you have done so much for Swimming World, and Swimming World magazine choose you as the most impact person at 2015. What do you think? What is that special thing or special product? What gonna impact swimming this year? What is Olympic year?
So, I think we're supposed to look at the camera too, right? The certainly, I mean, it feels great to be recognized, and I'd say it's not even possible without collectively a group of great people. So, the thing that impacts people and impacts swimming, it's all those people that work with FINIS that are passionate about what we're doing, right? So we make some products that help. I think we're so passionately engaged in what's going on in our sport that we tend to look deeper, right? We see what's going on and you kind of feel it. And when you feel it, if you love it, then you share it with people. So impact in this year, I think at the last Austin Grand Prix, we watched Michael Phelps in the IM, and at the end of that race, he was using freestyle stroke and he moved into a dolphin kick.
Exactly. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's a technique that I've seen coaches and great athletes use as a training technique, but it put him almost into a momentum pace that was unlike the momentum pace you see otherwise. And I just gonna reflect back that the monofin is something that great athletes continue to use. People that use the monofin, they have better turns, they have better underwaters, and that underwater portion of the race makes such a big difference. So I think we're gonna still see a lot of evolution in the monofin.
Yeah.
I know we're working on a new product in the world of the monofin, right? So we're gonna see it.
But that's what I said to swimmers too. To beat somebody, you have to be tricky, and the dolphin kick is something what is tricky. And when you train with that, with different things, and you get in that feeling, you get ahead from others.
And you have to practice. And you have to practice that. You can't just assume, oh, and then I'm gonna go into a dolphin kick. So what we do is we build tools. Our monofin is a tool that if you practice with it, obviously come race day you're not in the monofin, but you've gone through this motion. You've laid down that foundation that we can transition and then use it. But I'm going to talk about a product.
I call that my teddy bear now.
That's the edge, okay? And the whole point is this fin is intended to give you an edge in your training, to take you a whole level up higher. I think that the secret to it is really, there was something in the Z2 where you have constant foot pressure on the top of your foot, and the foot comes out the bottom, and that makes it extremely comfortable. So if you're really comfortable, the specifications on the fin were, we wanted to build the most comfortable, the most efficient, and the fastest fin on the market. It's extremely efficient. It's extremely fast.
And what I like is it's a quality. Like this fin, really you can do. There's some fins in the world you make turns and you can break your fin, but this is harmless and you can do everything with that.
100% silicone. So it has a specific gravity that really feels natural in the water. When we start looking at a fin with this much surface area, what we've done is we call it smart fin technology. We studied the fluid dynamics of all the fins underwater with cameras for about a year, and when you start getting a surface area like this, there's a portion of the fin that would otherwise stall out water. So you're creating dead space, you're creating non-propulsive force to try and go forward. So it would certainly build your leg strength, but it's doing nothing to create propulsive force.
To make you faster.
Right. So by changing the floor and actually allowing the water to pass through, we are actually eliminating the drag coefficients and creating propulsive force in those resistance phases. And this fin is fast, it's comfortable, it's efficient. So that's a big deal and that's brand new this year. So that's a big one.
Yeah, and I think like it goes to every age, every fitness or competition level. Like everybody should train with these to get the. Because if you're doing something right and smart, and you're gonna feel great, and you're gonna go faster.
So, and for me, right, I'm in the world of fitness now, right? It's nice to go fast. It's nice to be comfortable. So, I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't want to use it because everyone will benefit from it.
Exactly. And I know that the one thing is we're talking about training products, but this year we have those suits, and you know, I'm ready to race.
So, I know that the Onyx is a really dynamic suit. The dual layer of that Onyx allows me to.
We have one here.
So, in that Onyx, you've got a dual layer throughout, which, in reality, you're going to capture some air in the suit. There's no way you can't capture some air in the suit. It's going to give you lift. It has a diamond technology, which was done with the intent that we wanted to allow the legs to spring back in the kick. So it's a really dynamic material, and people really like it.
And I was a year ago on your office actually trying that on a stroke lab. I remember I had to do breaststroke sets.
Yeah.
And the feeling what you get after when you finish your kick, it's like you move faster, you're moving ahead. You're like ahead on your game. And I like about that suit a lot.
And we got to work with a number of the British national team members, a couple of the British world record holders, and that's specifically what they wanted. Is they wanted a suit so that when they are driving their legs, it felt like there was something that was giving them pop and lifting their legs back into their kick. So we worked with those athletes as well. I'm particularly fond of the Fuse. I think that the Fuse is a dynamite suit for people that they want that first race suit. It might be the kids that are just moving into this time that says, okay, now I really want to see how fast I can go. I really want a race suit. It's affordable. It's fast. It's a really good quality suit. It has a 4-way stretch. So you're going to fit a different body in this suit. Not every athlete is this chiseled athlete of the elite. So if you've got the skinny kids or the fat kids or the tall kids or the short kids, this suit is going to stretch and flex and yet give them, it's got a great hydrophobic coating.
Yeah.
It's going to really perform well for the young and the old. This is just it's the everyday race suit. You're going to do well in it.
And one thing what me as a female swimmer I have understood in the life is when you put something on, you feel great, you look great, then you're more comfortable to go out and race. And there's so many, master swimmers, so many kids who have, they want to feel great, they want to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And when I was wearing Fuse and doing my sets and practices and competitions, I felt like this can make more people want to go to the pool because they feel good, they look good, and they feel good.
And the affordability is a big thing. I think
yes.
Swimming is a lifelong sport. It's something you will do your whole life. And the moment that you think you don't want to do it because everyone's wearing some expensive suit, we want to cross those borders. I want everyone to have the opportunity to say, well, I've got one too. And I got one and it just didn't cost as much as what the market standards has set. So that's what we want to do.
Yeah, and there's so many kids who sometimes cry on the meet because they don't have that fanciest suit, but I think now they can have the best suit and the best colors. We have slate and we have Caribbean.
Caribbean blue. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful one.
Yeah. Well, thank you, John. And I'm ready to race. I don't know.
I know. I'm ready to watch you race. Thanks, Merle.
Thanks.